All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to calculate the aspect of individual cells in a raster. So basically, here we have this digital elevation model where each cell is equal to the elevation at that point. We want it to be equal instead to the aspect of that point. So what direction is the landscape facing at that point? And so we can use the aspect tool to create a coverage that for each cell tells you which direction that cell is pointed. And so to do that, I'm going to search for aspect. And again, we get a bunch of them, but the one we want is spatial analyst aspect. We are going to give it our raster. Important thing to note here is that if you have multiple rasters loaded and one of them is, say, a hillshade or slope or something like that, be sure that you give this your digital elevation model, because if you ask the aspect for the aspect of the slope grid or the hillshade, the output that you get is going to be nonsensical. Now, it might give you an output, but that output is not going to be actually representative of the aspect on the landscape, so that's dangerous. We want to make sure we don't do that. And then our output raster, we're just going to, well, aspect brush 1 is a good name for it, so we're just going to leave that there. And we're going to leave the planar method, and we're going to run. And what this is going to spit out is going to be a fun, colorful map that shows us what direction all of our cells are facing. And what's nice is when you do this output, right, is, or when you get this output, it characterizes them into what directions they are as well, which is nice for visualization purposes. And you can see, this, we can kind of test this. This is always a good idea to look at your output and test it. Our north values that are red here are indeed facing north on the map. So that's a good sign that this is done the right way. And anytime I make one of these, I always kind of want to print it out, put it on my wall. They look kind of fun. So that's creating an aspect grid.